Remember them recording apparatus that were hidden were like this big.
Yeah, like literally videotape. That's how you would put gorilla tape. You would tape a video cassette on a person's stomach,
Yeah.
and then you can't. The movie show that it doesn't. The movie's like doesn't even show the square outline of the tape.
Welcome to Square Outlines.
More of a circle inline guy?
Down by the sea, green pastures, that's where we'll be in our own cabin. Down by the sea, green pastures, that's where we'll be.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Adjust the Mic podcast. We are episode 204. I am one of your co-hosts, Mr. Scott Geiser. Along with me is Thadrick Cranstonite.
I'm two of your co-hosts.
Two of two with our special Italian, Chilean, Washingtonianite. Mr. Che, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys. Missed you guys.
You've been gone. You've been hiding from us. You ran from us.
He went on a Cheake.
You went on a JK
I had to find myself and people different from you guys. So.
episode title. JK.
Mostly you, Scott, he's talking about.
I know you got to get away from me. I would want to get away from me too.
What did the German poet said? If I knew myself, I'd run.
That was my uncle, Uncle Jebediah Geyser. Welcome, guys. It's been a few weeks, but it's been really active and busy and vibrant with a lot of good things going on.
Big time.
Man, the studio. It's really just exciting every time we go in there now.
Yes.
You buttoned up a big project here recently with Kyle, Nate, and Miles.
Indeed. Yes.
How you feeling?
Super good. Super good.
Yeah, so you got you have like this open field of view in front of you where, there's things to do, but you have all these possibilities, and building out the studio with that mindset and design in it's exciting.
Yeah, it's everything and been a long time coming. Plus, of course, we got snuffled by the hurricanes for a little bit, but we're back and it's tight and it's clean. We got a couple sessions going already. Kyle and 8 Minute Mile and a few guests, but it's heating up. And as you know, because you were there last night, tuning up all the.
And we were there at about 10:30 or so last night.
Yeah, T was falling out. Thank you.
I was hurting, dude. I was like this morning. I woke up great, but now as the day's been going on, I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting to bed early has been a focal point here as of late, and had a few late ones here recently.
Yep.
It's so worth it, and it's so exciting. We're kind of, and Che, I know you know this too. Have you been over there in the studio since it's been?
Yeah, I've been
getting
there,
updated
like a few weeks ago. That was, I guess, underway. Oh, sorry, you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sorry. Yeah, I was there a few weeks ago.
And you could move that around too if you want to get it to where it's more comfortable. Like I don't have a whole lot of space, but if you wanted to sit over there or move that over, or if you want to you're good right where you're at.
I'm trying to sit away from him. So. No, I was with the a few weeks ago. He showed me the studio. Thing is, we were talking more about Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights than checking out the studio.
Yeah,
but it was last time I was there, it was underway. It looked nice.
It's cool, man, because when everything flooded, you have to bring everything into a tight space. Everything comes into the house or into a main room, or so then you're kind of living on top of yourself in certain formats of other people's space, your own comfortabilities. your own creative, it's hard to be creative in a place that's maybe not your place, where you like to be creative. And that studio has been your baby for forever. And to see it for what it was, then to see it underwater, and then to see it, stagnant and waiting for insurance and for the right times to get the repairs and the changes done, to watching you guys on a weekly basis, piece by piece, change it to
Excuse me.
now coming in, and it's like, thankfully it flooded because it gave you the motivation to replenish its vibrancy, and like everything's new and fresh and being reinstalled with a understanding of what would be better if I had to change things.
Yeah, all the little things that over the years you think of, I'll do that, and all of a sudden you're forced to start from zero. And yeah, it's tight, it's clean, it's got lots of spaces, lots of options, and
seeing Kyle and
Sam,
which is awesome seeing them, by the way.
Yeah.
And I love this rock
Rumpus.
rock opera
Oh yeah,
type of forgetting Sarah Marshall, ish kind of that Dracula musical kind of vibe. It's badass, dude. I love it.
I love all that.
Just awesome people, man.
Yeah, really fun to work.
Got a good network there. Just exciting. So we're setting up, for some Discord channels here coming up. We're kind of getting some computers cleaned up and equipped properly to for projects of video editing, commercial, anything that you have your piano right there, and you're going to be able to take all of that, stuff that you've written.
So yeah, this fall it's going to be on with content building. And side note, Scott and I and Andre. We're blessed with a bunch of nursery equipment.
Yep.
And, just getting out there when the weather breaks and setting stuff up, that's going to be.
How, are we allowed to talk a little bit, not like in detail, but about some of the stuff you're getting right now?
You mean like getting big planters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a longtime friend, Dave, who's a longtime friend of yours. I've known Dave because when I worked with Rob at T-Bone Designs, they're cousins. And Dave would always come in and get shirts done for the yacht club and everything. And so I always had this relationship with him too. And you guys are all, family friends and know each other. And, they're selling. My uncle, Schmitty, worked at Galaxy Metals,
Yep.
Over there for years.
I remember him there.
Yeah, and I have so many coins and stuff from the memory,
Yeah.
from all that.
Way roots. We got way roots with the family.
And he's always had this amazing nursery. He's always grown his own foods and had his own,
Green thumb. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that mulberry tree is absolutely huge.
Yeah, Dave's got a green thumb from way back.
I mean, you could get a couple 5-gallon buckets full of berries off of that one mulberry tree. It was amazing. And so we go over there, and it's, it's a little mess. There's stuff a little everywhere, right? But there are how big are those pots? 50-gallon, 40, 30-gallon?
They vary, but there's 15s and 25s and some 40 something, and the big 65s.
I mean, you could do fruit trees out of those in such a controlled manner. There's so many things you could do with them that, your brother knows.
Yeah. And we got those things to get everything off the ground, the pallets and those weird, I don't know what they're for.
Those blue pallets
plastics.
are amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Because you can just lay them on the ground and then use them as just a riser,
To get out the termites.
Yeah, and have your pots, on top of them, so I'm watering everything in just a really good way.
And without putting a big pot, like right now, a bunch of the big pots with a saucer in them, they got standing water for too long, gets all acidic.
And all it's taking is elbow grease, of going over there and making it happen.
Yeah, keep it going.
So that's super thankful, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dave.
Big time.
Yeah,
long time friend.
Heck yeah. So studio's doing great. We got a lot going on with that. We have all kinds of nursery,
endeavors,
goals and endeavors. The dragon fruit guys this year, I know we've talked about it on previous episodes. It's blooming again.
It's nutty.
So it's like the third time I'm getting flowers off of it. I don't know much, about, how many fruitings you get a year and a lot of things. I'm kind of doing it just solo a different way than what other people are doing it.
The yard looks great.
Thank you, man. It
It's
really,
very lively.
really, really does. Actually, like every day I'm looking at it, going, all the things that I planted that were small are now pretty big, and
Yeah,
is it the right place? Like,
it looks great.
am I gonna have to deal with something eventually?
I gotta check it out. I haven't seen it since May.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool out back, man. Like, it's really, I've got a whole fence out back now, all the way across, with 2 gates, and able to block all the
Alligators.
Stuff from, yeah, man. Now the line truck guys are coming to clear tree lines and stuff, and I see them in the front of the neighborhood over on the Lantern Park side, and it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I want them to cut down some stuff over here.
How much are they going to skin it back?
And are they going to like really do a good job, or are they going to chance there's some stuff hanging on a wire over here? And 2 years in a row, they just left it.
I think you should shimmy up there.
No, dude.
The hand saw.
I've wanted to go up there with my saw, and I'm just like, I've watched too many videos of people being electrocuted.
Yeah.
No, nah, dude.
No, that's.
Send
I
Che
don't
up
think
there.
it's worth it, taking the risk.
No, no.
So, Che, how many days were you gone? You said 60 something.
Yeah, basically from June 1st to I got back here July 31st.
Would it be cool if we start at your starting point up in what?
So last time you were on, too, let's do this. Last time you were on, you were talking about going on your big trip, and you're outie. You're gone.
Yeah.
You went to Washington and then to Italy?
Yeah, I went to Washington State to see 2 dear friends of mine, and then I went to Italy and Spain visit family.
Well, I'm going to stop talking and just let you kind of tell us a little bit about your journey. I want to hear the bad things that you did,
The bad things?
like the fun, exciting things that were out of your comfort zone.
I guess what...
So just have fun. Tell us all about
Yeah,
it.
street vibes, all that.
I think that anything bad I had to tell you would be the cure for insomnia. It's rather boring.
Yeah.
The only thing I think the one bad thing is that I kept breaking my diet. I mean, that's what I guess. Like
There's a bunch of good food.
well, I
On a
told-
vacation, that's kind of acceptable.
well, the thing is, the thing is like the weird thing is that with my habit, like my habit with food is stress based, and so I said to myself, all right, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be eating good foods, but I want to control myself. And that didn't exactly go as planned.
We'll wait till later, but if you're very good, have much better memory than us. I want to talk about that stress-induced eating thing with you
Yeah.
because we are very similar,
crack it
and I
open.
think we can crack that later. But I want to hear the story first.
All right. I had a blast in Washington. It was my first time in Washington State. Loved every day I was there.
What is the state bird? Do you know that?
State bird? I don't know the state bird.
That's a demerit. That's a guest
Do you know the state insect?
Either the state bird or the state insect.
The capital?
That's a demerit.
Capital is Olympia.
Well played. So I'm an Apple shipper up there. I don't know any of those answers either, and I talk about Washington every single day, so
Let me take it out.
we will not deduct any points.
No, it's all right. No, another thing, like I got to see a lot of fun, awesome things. By the way, it's the American goldfinch, the state bird of Washington.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, thank you, Google.
I knew that. I would have guessed the same bird.
When I was in Washington State, I told my friends wanted to make sure that I got a great experience, and I saw the things that I wanted to see. Well, not everything, but I couldn't see everything else there, and I had an amazing time there. They just took me to amazing spots. Some of the things I've taught about a decade ago, but and I talked about as well, but I never got to see them. I finally saw them. I got to go up the Space Needle. I got to see this one place I didn't know. It's the Glass Museum. It's next to the Space Museum.
All right.
No, I got the Glass Museum. I think it's called Chihuly, Chihuly, Chihuly Glass Museum. It's impressive, like an amazing just amazing collection of glass work. Definitely, like if one's ever in Seattle, they must see that museum. It's amazing.
Was there anything that stood out that really made you
Yeah, the museum is divided in different rooms, and the rooms have their different names. Like there's a room dedicated to winter characteristics. Yeah, that's the one, the Chihuly gardening.
Oh, that
glass.
looks awesome.
The big glass dome with the glass building with the glasswork hanging.
What is the big ball thing in the middle? It looks like one of those seeds that come out of what is it?
It's supposed
a
to-
sugar gum tree or something? Sweet gum?
I think he's he's basically created his own garden of plants and trees, but completely made of glass. But there's even this
Wow.
awesome room where he has glass work on a glass ceiling, and the light of the glass, of the multicolored glass, shines on the floor. It's called the Persian ceiling, I think.
Wow.
And it's like the floor looks like a Persian rug.
Wow.
When you enter, there's I think if I might get this wrong. Something about the fruits of the sea or
Sea life room.
sea life room. There you go. There's winter brilliance. There's a room. It's called Chihuly's Inspirations, but there's another title. It's basically glasswork that's basically reminiscent of pottery by Native Americans of the Southwest. You also have one of my favorites was the Mille Fiori. Can you go to the right for a second? There we go. Mille Fiori. There you go. Means 1,000 flowers.
Wow.
The thing is, I can't really pick a favorite. Every room is impressive. You got to check it out.
Oh, yeah.
There's a video on YouTube that shows that gives you an entire tour of the Glass Museum.
It's Seattle's just an amazing city in general to go visit. My cousin Katie lives up there.
Oh yeah.
So I love you, Katie. I know she downloads some of these sometimes, so I hope you hear it.
And my
I've been wanting to go up there and visit. I was going to do an Airbnb in the Seattle in one of the bays that you could rent a tugboat for a couple $100 a night, and you stay on the tugboat, and you could hire a captain that can take it out. And it was beautiful. I mean, it's huge, and I thought that would be a cool experience to get up there and get out into maybe even nature and hike see some of these big redwoods up there.
Yeah, the trees were amazingly tall. It's because the friends, I live with my friends in a community that's in the woods, and man, the evergreen scenery there, the tall trees, and even in the changes of climate, it's just impressive over there.
Any
When
mosquitoes?
Huh?
Any mosquitoes?
There were mosquitoes, but not that many.
Like the humid, were you feeling sweaty when you're outside a lot, or was it kind of like a dryish air?
No, it wasn't even hot. It was more actually to me. The temperatures. If one takes a glance at the temperatures, it's cold. But to me, it wasn't hot. It was more cool / cold than hot. It wasn't. Every day I walked out with a jacket. Every day I walked out always with long pants and boots. Like it was. It wasn't snowing, but it was cold temperature.
Nice.
But even still, we got to see my friend drove up to Mount Rainier.
Okay.
Or Mount Rainier.
I've heard of that. Rainier.
It's amazing drive up. I didn't go up to the peak, but
So they make reindeers.
not reindeers. There was like an information station on the road close to the top, and they actually had like all information about history of the mountain and settlements, and even collection of different types of igneous rock.
Oh, neat.
It was really cool.
So did you go up there to where it's snow and barren up at the top?
My friend and I started going up. There was snow. There was snow where we were. And I never thought I'd be walking in snow in the summer. I just crossed that off my bucket list. My friend was so amazing to have taken me there.
Cool.
Did you pet a moose?
No moose. Moose?
Yeah.
Moosin.
Mises.
Moosin.
I seen
Lots of moosin.
Moose
That's that
I
I saw a
comedian.
flock of
Brian
moose.
Regan,
And,
I think Brian Regan.
Brian Regan, yeah. No, you started walking. There's like this little like you can start walking up towards the peak. There's like a trail. I'm not saying up towards the peak, but there's like a walking trail. My friend and I started walking, but there was snow, and I was wearing black sneakers. My friend was more. My friend wasn't wearing. I don't think she was wearing high mountain boots, but I think she was wearing hiking boots. And she was more prepared for the walk. I had to be careful because I could easily slip. And we just
Would you have penny loafers on or something? Would
No,
you have
I
some,
just had-
did you have some Hey Dudes or some flip flops?
what was it? Skechers. Black
He had some
Skechers?
Florida shoes on. He was up there in Washington
I
wearing.
don't walk. I don't
Pete.
walk in Florida shoes.
This guy
They're Skechers. They're
This guy
black sneakers.
lives right next to you. All right.
Look at that.
You need to tell him he's got to get some of these cool boots and things.
You got to protect the digits.
Got to, man.
Can't stub a toe, right?
Can't be wearing some Hawaiian Panama Jack flip flops
I'll try to keep it digital.
up there with the sequoias.
Was it rocky enough to want them shoes?
No, we didn't. We didn't really rock hardly on any rocks.
So you guys are on computers all day. Just kidding.
Yep, y'all were sitting in your hotel rooms, playing on your phones.
So this is all
Virtual
bullshit. Is that
experience.
what you're saying?
Yep.
No.
We know now. We know. Now we know the truth.
Okay, fake trip to Washington. Okay.
So you went to a VR trip on your Oculus.
Yeah, no. I
Who
would
watched
never. I would never use an Oculus.
Oh,
Just throwing down the gauntlet.
Brought the grandpa out in me.
Mr. Moneybags over here.
Oh, why do you need an Oculus? We got a perfectly good VCR.
It costs about the same.
No, we had to turn back because there was some.
You guys got caught.
Would
Well,
y'all,
we had
did
a-
y'all go to Colorado or Nebraska on the way to Washington?
No. Well, actually, I stopped in Denver. I made a stop in the Denver airport, waited 12 hours, and then got on the plane to Seattle.
I had to run from one part of Denver airport to the other and barely made it.
That happened to me as well.
I've never ran in a Denver
It was
airport.
so far.
I would say I enjoyed every day there. My favorite day, not to demarginalize the other days, but my favorite day was when I was in actual Seattle. We did so much. Like I said, the Space Needle, the Glass Museum. When my friend first took me to this marketplace, and I forgot the name of the market, but it's like close to the water. It's a popular market in Seattle, kind of like an open market.
You ate some good food there?
Oh yeah,
What's the name of one of them joints that you ate at?
well, so it's more like a stall, and they were
You
selling.
ate in a stall.
Yeah, they're
like a Anderson Reynolds Mims
Yeah.
type of stall,
Porta potty.
or more of like a horse trough type of stall.
No, like
Dummy sauce.
kind of like in a like you're at a flea market almost.
Okay,
But I've seen a lot of these markets actually.
so like just a big food festival, flea market, open market kind of food situation.
But I'm used to this. I've seen these markets before in Spain and Italy. You know, you go. There's like one area that looks enclosed, but they're just mini tents and small buildings where people sell their artwork or clothing or foods. When I was a kid, my grandmother in Spain would actually go shopping there. She would wait when they like once a week or once or twice a week they would show up and open up their tents and stalls and sell their fresh vegetables and fish and churros and stuff like that.
You know, if you really think about it, I'm sorry to cut you off here, but when it comes to these open markets, when you watch places like Anthony Bourdain and some of these, food networks and they're traveling the world and going to these different countries, they always find that local town market, right, that they go to, and they always have some kind of deal or selection or something that they do there. Because they're kind of like the hub and the vital part of that, like a vein of food, of their culture or everything, right? In the United States, we have flea markets. And is a flea market just really like, I feel like, it's a farmer's market it starts off as, right? It's got to start off as some type of collective of people who are artists, who make things, who paint, who work with leather, who work with, some type of skill. And then instead of working for somebody, they come to a collective area and sell items together. And in the United States, I feel like it's, as time goes, like when you go to like Melbourne, we used to have the Frontenac flea market, all the different flea markets you go to, it's turned into like, either stuff like that's imported from overseas, or a bunch of T-shirts, or a bunch of like maybe 25% of all of those places have the exact same item that they're selling a different version of.
a bunch of knives that last about a month.
Cheap plastic, Rubbermaid knockoff utensils and things, probably made with terrible plastics that seep into every. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And what happened to the flea market? Same thing with the malls. Like the malls would be like a chain store, or it would be a cool mom and pop store with a cool concept where they could rent out and stay and have some staying power, or you'd have some middle spaces there, and they're gone.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, it's all gone because
Culture.
There's a lot of online shopping now. You can just with your phone. You don't have to make a trip to the store. You can simply say, "I want this item." Who on the network has
On the net
not the net?
with Shay Dog.
Who on the network or who on the internet offers what I want at the best price, or who has the best combination of price and shipping delivery guarantees. That's what's because you can still differentiate prices from different stores. It'll take longer, it's more tedious, but it's basically online shopping and people becoming accustomed to online shopping following the pandemic that it's really affected the stature of flea markets and in the malls.
You are starting to see like this little rebound though. It's like, more people are growing mushrooms or making their own things or making their own like sourdough breads, or they're propagating plants and they're selling them in the Facebook marketplaces and doing all these other things. And instead of going to like a large chain, nursery store to buy a plant, and people are having more, there's more, you see more of these small pop-up farmers markets that are actually people that, are doing it with love and building things at their home and then bringing it out like in a cool way. And it's nice seeing more of that kind of happen for our community. And I think it's more engaging.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, people still do it, but like I think you have a better shot at saying that with farmers markets or flea markets than now at the actual mall, because you want to sell something at the mall, you have to pay fees for opening up the stall, you have to pay for taxes, you have to pay for rent, you have to. It costs more to keep a place open at the mall.
Okay, well, so here's the sad point then. So if you look at the financial correlation with these farmers markets that are becoming more predominant and becoming more popular, you got to think, well, everything costs more money right now. Inflation has people going to restaurants less, eating out less, all of the extra exorbitant cost and profit margins that a lot of large corporations have been making over the last couple of years with the new pricing that's been in place that, supply and demand. So Americans have afforded it and been paying it whether it's good or not, right? When that inflation trickles down, whether it's by intelligent design or by happen, you got to hope that a lot of these small mom and pop businesses that are trying to do their thing can compete and stay afloat, because the pricing control of the big dogs can really push the needle down if it gets too crazy.
Well, I think it's
happened with the breweries, microbreweries and stuff for a while.
Well, it narrows down to who controls the pricing of both imports and exports, because mom and pop shops, they need resources and materials to produce the goods that they want to sell. They have to pay to acquire those goods, and then they have to charge the customers not just a percentage of what they pay to acquire those goods, but also additional money just so they can make a profit.
Yep.
Otherwise, and also to pay for expenses, other expenses that are not related to the materials. And so when you take a look at that and you see who's in control of the prices, then you also have to consider the government involved in all that. What are the import fees? What are the taxes that are put on?
Who's getting a subsidy? Who's getting paid to keep this going?
And so some people say like the government that that, for example, that law doesn't have an impact on economic policy. Well, that's not true. A law does have an impact on economic policy, and so does diplomacy on the side of countries. So does international incidents affect. And in the long run, when things go wary, you have the inflation, and as you said, there's the consequences of that. People are buying less, going out to eat less. They're saving money so that they can
Withstand.
so they can withstand and afford the things that they need, as well as enjoy the things that they want. And it's affecting, one way or another. The thing is, well, one way or another, it's gonna eventually change.
Yeah, the bubble's going to burst in some way, shape, or form, and then it'll be a correction, and you got to hope that it's a quick recovery, and not a slow and painful one.
Well, there's this.
People making good decisions.
I'm sorry, Scott. There's this famous radio play called the Lehman Trilogy. In fact, I believe Sam Mendes has been able to put it on the stage before. It's actually, I think it's like a 5-hour, 7-hour play in different parts. But Sam Mendes managed to get got the playwright to condense it to like a 3-hour play. And the Lehman Trilogy, literally, it's a 3-man show that narrates the history of the Lehman Brothers from the moment that they entered the United States to their downfall in 2008. And there's a part in the third act explains how the digital market was in itself its own bubble, and how numbers skyrocketed, stocks went up, profits went up, but then the increase of those vast profits eventually saw this vast growth of this bubble that, from what I understood from the play, they did not see it coming until when the market went to
Big Short, man.
Yeah.
That movie, The Big Short.
Oh, yes. There you go.
That one right there tells you in an intimate way, and it's so interesting. I mean, these mortgage companies, they just had stock, terrible bonds in the S&P, these poorly rated bonds, and they were putting them together with these good bonds, and they were trying to hide the bad ones with the good, and it was just a nightmare.
But they did it surreptitiously. It's basically like a game of trying to get a good deal without the others not knowing.
They believed that they could cover their mistakes without getting in trouble for it.
Hence the Big Short. They were shorting each other on selling basically worthless stocks that people thought were valuable. And
It's like, can you imagine just being so confident? This is just an amazing thing from the gentleman, Michael, I forget his name, that the investor who made The Big Short.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of a few, but he was the main one, Michael Berry.
I think it was Michael. Yeah.
Michael Berry,
I think.
and he to walk into a bank again with like 10, 15 suits, and be on the other side by yourself and saying, I want to bet $1 billion that you guys are stupid. Pretty much. And they're going, and then they're going out and they're coming back and, yeah, we'll take your bet. You're the stupid one. And that's like at a base level. And that was the way even the movie portrayed it in a way.
It's Michael Burry. There you go.
Right.
And then every day, they're watching bad things happen, and he's going over there, hey, when are you guys going to do the right thing? You see what's happening right now. So he knows he's won. They know he's won, and they're doing everything they can to cover it up and hide it.
Yep.
And then to just be like, all right, give me all your money. I win. And be in those 15 suits that,
There was a scene that one of my favorite scenes in that movie was when the bosses of Michael Burry were questioning his scheme.
Oh, yeah.
And they're saying that he was out of his mind. And they
all of his investors, too, were all arguing with him.
They're all, and then one of them said, one of the big suits said, you who gets your haircut at J. Crew and she gets his clothes from, or I forgot but he basically was criticizing that Michael Burry, who was not dressed like one of the, who was not in a suit, and he didn't get his hair cut from a renowned hairstylist, that is enough to not believe him. And that just showed the conceit of the higher echelons in the market. The people who were calling the shots, and because in a way, that's how he was able to trick them in the first place, because they were so sure of the market, as they thought they were so sure of reading people.
Yeah,
it had
it's wild, man.
Which it's ironic because it kind of reminded me of what like Marx said about not saying this is a good thing, but he said that history is class struggle. But that movie right there showed nothing more than people making their decisions based on their judgments, and their judgments were were in part with their interactions with people and how much they trusted them based on how those people appeared. It's all based on. But the thing is, Marxism is about history as class struggle. In a way, it is, but it's more like a history of human instinct. It's basically a record of how collectives were motivated through pure instinct of those who led them. And
It's very cool.
it echoes in The Big Short.
So we were in Washington a little while ago.
Yeah,
I didn't mean for us to take. No, that was on me. I was like, I'm sorry.
That's cool. It landed on instinct. That's
And
cool.
I thought that was fantastic.
we taught something.
We're gonna have to cut out most of that, D. Just don't tell them.
Actually, there's I forgot to mention at this market, which is like a combination of flea and farmers market, open market. I remember that day. It was cold. It was like, because every day I was there, I'm like, oh, this is nothing. This is not that cold. I'm used to it. This is good.
Seattle
And
proper.
when I got to this was in the actual city, and when I was in Seattle, that's just for a couple of hours, I was actually cold. I was like, whoa, what is this? Why am I suddenly freezing? And luckily, I know that apples are a big thing in Washington. It's a popular
When it gets cold, that helps, man.
Oh, that thing
Sweeten them up.
they were selling hot apple cider. Oh. It was so good.
Wow, that's a
Hot cider on a cold day. Apple cider.
Man, that sounds good.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's great.
And I was able, and my friend and I, we went through the market, and it's funny because my friend and I, we like Frasier. So as soon as we entered Seattle, we played the theme song to the Frasier show on our way to the parking garage. That scrambled egg song. But when we were walking through we saw, and I bought plenty of things. I tried different types of honey. They had different flavored honeys there. They also had, 8 different types of nuts. I've never seen so many cherries being sold.
Oh yeah, you were up there for cherry season, so yeah, you're definitely. Do they have the very, very cherry plum up there? It's from California actually, but it's a plum that they bred with a cherry, and it's like half the size of a plum.
No way. I
And
haven't seen that.
and it tastes so good.
I got to go back and just get just tell my friends, hey, I'm here, but I just wanted to say a cherry plum.
You have like Rainier fruit with their cherries. You have California Market or Columbia Marketing up there. They have a bunch of different cherry brands. The cherries up there and the blueberries. They have really good blueberries.
I tried some blueberries.
The cherries, blueberries, and then nectarines. Peaches right now are coming out of Idaho. And so we're running a lot of peaches out of Idaho right now.
Oh, no, we at the market, they fresh nectarines. We had one.
Yeah.
They're even selling, there's this one stall or small store that was selling hot chocolate. I think it's hot. I don't want to get it wrong. I think it was hot Colombian chocolate, but made hot. It's basically the chocolate derives from Colombia, and it's not like your sweet type of chocolate. It had a sweet taste, but it's more like a dry taste. But it's really good. It was just there's a massive line at a Starbucks. Like the line stuck out of the Starbucks. I mean, we're in Seattle, but it went down a block just from Starbucks. And here I was enjoying the apple cider and this Colombian hot chocolate and other drinks that I never tasted, because I made a promise that whatever, I'm going to try things that I don't often eat or new things that I haven't eaten. And man, so many good things. I even ate salmon jerky.
Cool.
So I tried teriyaki, I tried garlic.
Salmon jerky is amazing.
It's
really good. Yeah.
I wanted to open my bag because when I left Washington, I went to Spain, and I wanted to open my bag on the plane, but it has a strong smell, and I didn't want to inconvenience anyone on the plane.
Oh, dude, that'd be a video.
I would have.
That'd been on the internet.
I had like
on the web.
Well, the salmon jerky. It's
Some asshole in 18 mouth thing opened anchovies on row 12
yeah.
C.
You just stunk up.
They were calling him
Playing.
Che because he doesn't want to. He's telling them that's his name. I don't think it's real.
It's omega-3 oil. What are you complaining about? No, the thing is, I bought 3 bags, and they cost me like $10 a pop. Worth it though. But the thing is, like with the jerky,
Worth it though.
the jerky bags. You only live once. The jerky bags had
Worth
more.
it, though.
These jerky bags have more air than actual jerky. So basically, I didn't have enough
Very
room.
jerky of them.
Yeah, and I couldn't shove all 3 bags, so I just opened all 3 and put them in one and mixed them. So I had garlic, chili pepper, and normal salmon jerky, and I rolled it up. But then as soon as I was on the plane and I was flying from Calgary to Spain, to Barcelona, and I was about. I got out of my seat because I had an aisle seat. Got out of my seat, opened up the cab container, and I was about to pull out the bag, and I wait a second. These things produce a smell. And I just shoved them out of the bag because I just didn't. I mean, I didn't worry if someone complained. I just didn't want anyone else bothered by the smell because I wouldn't be.
If you have beef jerky and you're worried about the smell and you're worried about it causing problems, I mean, you could just duct tape it to your leg, and it'll keep the smell out. I mean, they have smell-proof bags you can put your jerky in.
I don't
to kind of help with the distinguished, spice of the jerky.
I just don't
you
know
might
how-
not want the jerky dogs to come, sniff you out.
How could I justify bringing duct tape strapped on my leg in the airport?
You just don't want to be smashing it.
Like, can you see it? Can you see him go through the little nude door thing and put his hands up and they scan him? And they go, hey, what's that tap to? You're like, it's beef jerky. They're like, no, it's not. It's drugs.
I tried to control the smell.
And he's like over there, and they're just ripping it off with the hair. And you're like, it's jerky, I swear. I didn't want it to be too spicy for everybody.
Look, beef jerky doesn't have that strong of a smell, but salmon jerky has quite the smell to it. It's a good smell for me, but
I don't think you ever want to tape fish to your body.
no.
We've all done that, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've all had to.
Well,
Don't want to.
They swim upstream. I'm flying upward.
Yeah.
Well, when I got to Spain, I I realized I didn't bring anything. Didn't bring that many things. I brought some things for certain relatives, but I forgot to bring other things for other relatives. So
Let's do this. Let's before we get into the Spain stuff, we're gonna take a break,
okay.
and then when we come back, I want to get off Spain. Let's Washington. Any takes from Washington? Anything that really just your favorite part of it?
Yes.
Tell us.
I had a blast at the Rodeo Drive-In. The first time I was at a drive-in theater, had an amazing time. It was one of the coolest experiences. I mean, drive-in theaters are amazing. Friends took me to practice archery. I practice archery, but I've been rusty because I haven't done it in a few years. Took me to an archery range. Matt Rainier, amazing.
That's great that you got to go there.
Got to go on a ferry. I crossed the Puget Sound. I mean, I always wanted to travel.
I swam it
long
once,
distance.
but I always wanted to take the ferry.
It's so going on a ferry on the Sounds is so worth it. The Glass Museum and the market that I described. One last thing, there's a place where the market is located. It's called the Gum Wall. I think it's just an alley where the walls have nothing but gum stuck on.
Oh wow, yeah.
ABC gum stuck on.
Don't take out.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's it looks gross, but to me, I thought it was so.
I've seen walls of gum before at places like.
It was what?
Huh?
You said it was so.
No, it was just so it looks gross, but at the same time, it was just so awesome. It was
Heck yeah.
because it's just a collage of something absurd, but at the same time innovative. At the same, I have never seen that.
Wow.
That is so. I'm so glad I got to see that. I sincerely am so glad I got
What
to see that.
when it came to the vibe of Washington, a vibe that I get from just talking to people on the phone up there, and noticing when their fields are open and closed, like their hours of operation. A lot of places up there close on the weekends. You see a lot of places in Florida are not closed on the weekends. You see a lot of places across the country in other states that are not closed on the weekends. But in Oregon and in Washington, those two states in particular, they value those weekend times. And like a lot of these places, if they are open until Saturday, it's only till noon, and the rest of the day is, the employees are, yours. And it's like things are a lot slower up there, I feel, as far as like, everything's so fast paced. What I get, from who I talk to there and how they, share information with me, it's like it's a little slower.
I understand what you mean. When you say slower, to me it felt calmer. Mm-hmm. There's no rush. Or I mean, there's traffic when you drive around. I mean, not a lot of traffic, but you do see cars driving around. You see people out and shopping, but it just looks
and everything seems to be designed really well. I was up in Eugene, Oregon, years ago, and they have the 2 or 3 sister mountains there, and it's all lava fields, and there's some trees coming up out of some of the lava fields still, and they've cut out trails that people can walk and, check out these fields and everything. And it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
When I was going into some of these little shopping plazas, I felt like I was like in a Disney resort-ish type of plaza because they did such a good job with the landscaping. And I know it's because of you have like the seasons, the winters, and everything. But the way it was all just designed, I really felt a really good vibe in that North Pacific West. I'm not, it's not a political, I'm just saying like, it just has the energy of people in the stores and wasn't much traffic, everybody was it just was nice.
No, I found it equally, I saw it equally like, to me, like, because, there's, those places where like you have different shopping centers right in the vicinity. Like you have like a Lowe's and a Home Depot, and then you have a Target on the other side. And you actually had to go uphill, but even that was like I didn't see any disorder or any confusion. I mean, even on the way, my friend and I went to this another beautiful spot, perhaps one of my favorites. I think I want to pronounce it correctly, Snoqualmie Woods. There's a waterfall, Snoqualmie Falls. Just an amazing sight. You gotta check that place out. Oh, yeah. But on the way there, there's just, I mean, you see traffic, but like you don't get the rush hour vibes. You get a sense of calm.
Yeah.
Walking on the woods, hardly hear anything. Sometimes just, unless you're in the Snoqualmie, you can hear the sound of water rushing. But elsewhere, you can just feel the calmness, the silence of it all. It's just a great, to me, like going in the rural area, you get a good peace of mind there.
And going in the summer when it's hot down here. It
might be wet and rainy, but it's no one should let that interfere. It's so worth going.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
We will be back.
Break. So. Sister, I said, what have you put in your head? And she spoke, smoke, she said, toying with a blade of grass, I fast consumed myself with thoughts of her. And where we were was under flocks of little birds that painted dragon in the sky was telling, take to me the night, and it was 2, and I heard someone say, everyone is curving, everyone is curving. Top like blowing, the keeps blowing, smoke ring sees things, chooses me. I go this way, I go that, and I keep going. Exaggerate, generate, no fear, shield or cutting these eyes, fatalistic versions. Embodied things of the land. The words you say again are like a piece of fence that is slapping in the wind, and why you say it? Your nose disappear. The water isn't clear. The reason isn't clear. So fly you out, guns and in flash, you go fire, backing up, take
John, by the buds in your hand. The words you say again are like a piece of fence that's slapping in the wind. And while you say it, your nose disappears. The water isn't clear. The water isn't reason to fly you out. John saying it right. You're going fire, man. Keep up, take it up high. I curve you and I'll make it so good I break it. Yeah, and we take it again, 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 again. Again, again, again. Kids care. The kids care. The kids care. The kids can get it. 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 Get it, get it.
Hello?
Yes. Hello. This is the Chinese buffet calling.
Yes.
Last time you come in, you eat way too much.
Okay.
You're not allowed back anymore.
Okay.
I got your number from credit card info.
Okay.
This is not homeless shelter. This restaurant. You eat all expensive food. You eat all that crab leg.
No, I didn't have any crab legs at the restaurant.
You take so much food and not even eat all. I throw out full plates when I leave your table.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You bad customer. You start talking. Yeah, 就是他。我叫他永远不要再过来了。
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. You know, come back. You bend.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've just been pranked by prankdial.com.
Prank dial. Crazy people.
Hello? Mommy, they picked up. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
My mommy told me to call you. Hi.
You did.
Mommy.
Hi.
They're talking on the phone. Hi.
Hi.
You know what?
What?
I like ice cream.
Really?
Know what else?
What?
I like trucks.
You like trucks?
Yeah. I like to play with trucks.
Wow.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you like to play with trucks?
No.
Yay! We can be a truck family.
Who is this?
I can be the baby trucker. Daddy can be the father trucker. And you can be the mother trucker.
Yeah.
You're a
That's
mother
funny.
trucker. You're a mother trucker. Are you there?
Could I come over and play?
Who is this?
No, you got through it. You're back here.
Got to be back here. I told my parents I'm not spending time with anyone this weekend. Well, except for you. But
Ooh, I recorded that. I
Yeah, we
got
got
that.
that.
I'm telling everybody. I told my mama and my daddy.
please don't.
So
Baby Billy Bobby.
you said Barcelona?
Barcelona.
So, the little garden tour.
Yeah.
We are back. We have Mr. Che. He's hanging out over in Washington. He swam a channel there. He robbed a ferry. Did all kinds of nefarious acts and
And then imagine the opposite. That's what I really did.
and now he's on a plane, loudly eating
Lip smacking
anchovies
that fish.
next to Karen and her family of Karenites. on a 15-hour tour
I wasn't seated
next to Gilligan.
Well, this is the first time I traveled in style. The first time I traveled.
How stylish were you? Did you wear like
I wasn't in first.
Did you wear like penny loafers?
No,
Did you
no.
wear like shirts with a pocket in it?
No, just
or were you
sneakers.
way up in the front, like when in the upper echelon class of people?
We need to know.
Did you pee it with the high class, or did you walk through the low class and say, I'm up ahead of you, but I'm going to pee with the commoners?
I was where I belong. I was in the middle class.
Okay.
No, I was in no, literally, it was the middle. It was okay. So I flew on this airline called WestJet.
Okay.
And on WestJet, you have what is it? Business class, which the business class on WestJet has the first class seats of other airlines, like the pods. Then you have premium economy, which would basically be business class on other airlines. And then you have economy, basically the seats where the airline staff treat you with little to no respect. You know, the uncomfortable chairs, the
A, B, and C.
Yeah, just we know you're uncomfortable because it costs more to be. So that's so I sat in these chairs were just what I needed. They weren't like beds, but they're just wider and comfier. In fact, I think people would be more understanding of airline prices if all seats were like these. There weren't it wasn't like a couch. It was just a slightly bigger seat, and it was comfier. But what made it really premium economy was not just the seat, because I had extra leg room. My knees weren't pressing against the seat in front of me. Like you can sink a little on the seat when you sit in it, but you can also, but when you get there, the flight attendants offer you like water or orange juice, just to relax before takeoff. They bring it to you they bring it to you with their little trays. Like each aisle has its own flight attendant. And I was like, man, I've never been treated on this like an airline. Nice. And even when they served dinner or when they served lunch or even a snack, they would come by with not with snack, but dinner and lunch certainly. Or they came by with cloth napkins. They would put it on your eating tray. That put it on your eating tray like it was a table, and then they give you your food plus another cloth, cloth just to on your lap, just so you can, basically two napkins, one to cover your trays where they put the food on, and the other for use. And the food was really good. It wasn't like it was airplane food, but it was just airplane food, just crossing the threshold to real life food.
And when you're leaving Canada or Washington to head to Italy, you're going.
And I was going to Barcelona.
Okay, and 15, 16-hour flight, longer, 20.
Give me a second. I took off and at like around 5 o'clock, I think, or 6 o'clock. And I got to Barcelona in the morning. I think by the time my uncle picked me up at the airport, I think it was close to noon. I can't remember but because I had to fly from Calgary.
Did you have to like take a Xanax or anything to help you sleep to get across, or did you just like get up in there and sleep? Not nervous about being in a plane for that long? That's a long flight.
The thing is, I hoped to have slept, but I was so comfortable that I didn't need to sleep, which is weird.
So you just watch movies on your phone and iPad or something? Or?
Yeah, basically, I watched 4 movies. First movie I watched was on my iPhone. On Disney Plus, you can download movies so you can watch them offline. I watched one. It was a documentary. I think it was by Ron Howard. It's a documentary about Jim Henson. Really good documentary. I recommend it. And then I watched the in-flight movies. The movies that I wanted to watch, I watched Platoon. I watched Four Weddings and a Funeral. Four Weddings and a Funeral. And I watched a thriller. I forgot what it was called, but I basically watched 4 movies during my flight, and by the time I finished the movie, we were already preparing to land for Barcelona.
If anybody ever asks you, how long does it take to get from Washington to Italy? Go about 4 movies.
About 4 movies. I think that's the best estimate you can, because I was watching movies nonstop.
I understand how many movie times, what that means. Yeah. I get about 4 movies. Yeah, okay. Not too bad.
No,
I can handle that.
We're using the old English metric system.
Yeah.
How long does it take to travel? About 4 pony stops.
Yeah.
To get to that city.
Yeah. So you get there and you're in middle class. So after the high class people get off first and they all get showered with roses, they pick the roses up and kind of dust them off, and then they give you guys like a lower throw, rose to kind of welcome you to the country.
And the people behind
and then they
would,
throw trash at the commoners that get off at the back.
and contemptuous looks.
Yeah.
Fortunately, like the weird thing when we landed in Barcelona, usually when you travel internationally, you first make a stop. You walk through the terminal, you walk through a hallway, and then you have to make a couple of stops to different areas, immigration, and sometimes if you're changing flights, you have to check.
Are you speaking in a completely English language the whole time, or were you getting some of your
no,
Italian
I was
gabagool language going?
No, I was in Barcelona, they, it's either Catalan or Castilian, which is Spanish, the traditional Spanish language. Castilian is the Spanish from Spain. So in Catalonia, where Barcelona is, it's either Catalan or it's like a mixture of French, Spanish, and Italian. It's like a huge, like a very almost homogeneous mixture of those languages, and then you have
homogeneous
in one combination. No, but yeah, I spoke. I spoke in Spanish while I was there, but there have been incidents whenever I'm at immigration, and I would speak to the immigration official, give him my passport. I would speak to him in Spanish, like "Buenos días" or "Hola, cómo estás," and he would speak to me in English. I'm like, "Oh, come on, dude! I spoke to you in Spanish."
Yeah, like let me use my shit that I learned.
No, you are a tourist. Because I handed him I'm sure. I think I gave. Now I'm wondering, did I give him my American or my Italian passport?
Did you wear like a waist satchel around to help carry things?
No, I just had my backpack, and my other
Standard.
bag was waiting for me in the carousel. But no. I mean, I think the crazy thing is when we got to the airport, we got to the immigration line. I don't think they were organized when we got there, because I went down an escalator. Kind of, you feel like the rats in the maze. You only go where there's no borders. Mm. You're like, oh, this place is closed off. I have to go this way. And I eventually went down an escalator. When I went down, there's just a crowd of people. Literally, the moment you step off the escalator, there's a person 3 inches away from you. And I was like, what's going on? And it was this massive line, a disorganized line of people trying to get through passport control. It's like, what? Seriously, guys? You didn't anticipate planes arriving at this place called the airport? You did not anticipate this? And everyone's crowded, and then I managed to find a spot on the line, and it was such a long line that I started watching. I kid you not, I was watching an episode on. I think I was watching a documentary on whales on Disney Plus with Sigourney Weaver. The Secrets of the Whales. I watched one episode. It's like about 40 to 50 minutes long. I kid you not. By the time I was done with that line, I got to my passport kiosk. It was literally a 40-minute wait.
Wow.
That was just.
And you were there for what, a month?
I was there in Spain for 3 weeks.
Wow.
I stayed in Barcelona. Normally I would be in the countryside, and I did go spend some time in the country with one of my uncles. And
you have a lot of your family live there, right?
My maternal family.
Okay.
I had visited. I have plenty of family, but I just hung around mainly with two of my uncles, and one of them lives in the city, and I was only able to hang out with him on Friday or Saturday because that's when him and his family didn't work. And the other uncle, I would sometimes hang out on the weekdays. He borrowed me for one weekend, and he took me to the mountains, I think close to the Pyrenees. There's a beautiful, I don't know how close, but there's this beautiful mountain in Spain called Pedraforca. And because he has a house in a mountain community in Spain, an apartment more like, and I love the mountains.
And you do this every year, right? Like in the
I
summer?
always go to Spain every year, but sometimes I visit different places.
Yeah.
This is the first time I got to see my uncle's place in the mountains.
That's great.
And I even got to try some. He took me to different other places near the mountains where the awesome grills. He just
Heck yeah.
I had a time of my life hanging out with my uncle.
That's great. That's magical, man.
It's but when I wasn't with my uncle in the country, I would hang out at the apartment of another uncle of mine, and usually. Here's the deal. I like to spend time with family, but I also want time for myself. And I did get time for myself. I would say half of the time I was in Spain, I spent with my uncles, the other half by myself. And by myself every day, it's have something at the cafe, have a nice breakfast, relax for a couple of hours, and then I would walk along the beach. And when I was a kid in Spain, when I was hanging out at the beach, there were places far off, northward, communities and little points, beach points that I always wanted to see. So I decided, why not? I would walk an hour or an hour and a half, constantly going upwards towards these places, and I finally reached as far as I could see from where I was at the beach. A place called Badalona. That's the beach where I would hang out, and I would walk along the beach line. There's this awesome spot in Barcelona called Montgat. And at Montgat, there's this awesome rocky point where waters crash into the waves. You can even swim at the beach there. Just beautiful water. So worth visiting. Montgat. There's this little rocky, it's like little hill, rocky hill that you can go up the stairs and view the whole thing. And if you go even further, so I went past Montgat to another place called El Masnou, another community of the same district, and I got to walk on the rocky pier where the marina was, and I just got to look out in the ocean, the sea. So I had a great time, whether I was walking along the beaches in Barcelona or going out to the mountains in Catalonia or northward.
Well, it's nice, man. You're dealing. You have we all have the hustle and bustle of our jobs and our daily lives, and everybody. Either wants to or makes that time to enjoy themselves. I remember going to Georgia a couple of years ago and just spending just 1 week, and how recharged I felt, and how nice it felt to just be alone, to not have to either answer to somebody, explain something to somebody, to just let me just go and be me for a bit. And I think it's important for everybody.
Yeah.
And so doing that every year is just a healthy reset for you, man. And
it is.
It's an important thing, and plus, man, the family part of it.
I mean,
it's magical, man.
Being by yourself is just it's great to be spending time with people, but sometimes you need
a vacation can be with people or to get to be without people.
I mean, you can for both.
There's a balance of it all, man.
Sometimes you can do with a few days where you just wake up and it's all about what am I going to do today. I'm in the house or I'm walking by myself and I have nothing but silence, inner silence.
And those are the best things. Those are the best times when you can really reflect on either on your life, on what you're doing, on what you want to do, on future plans, future goals. That's when you get to ponder all these things and see all these new things, and it lets your brain, energy, kind of react to different situations, and it keeps it healthy, man. It keeps it vibrant, man.
It is.
It's an important thing.
And you even get to have your own personal adventures. You get to go on adventures with other people. And many people, like, I know I've known in my life those people who say, oh, well, you just don't want to spend time with me, or you don't want to hang out with us. No, it's not that. I love hanging out. It's just sometimes I just want my own space. Sometimes I just need a break, just reflect. There's no harm in personal reflection.
Tell me this, guys. Growing up, older people, I'm going to just call it what it is, like my grandparents, would always guilt trip me. Oh, I never get to see my grandson. You never come over to see me. And when you're a kid, man, like when you're that age, your brain is not in the value chain of family in the same way that it is when you're older and you have the history and the ups and downs and the the wisdom. Old people, we always do that to the young ones. You never come to see me. And it's kind of on us to come see them in a way as well, and kind of meet in the middle and kind of have that balance.
Which, and that in itself, like a person should have a balance, and guilt tripping does not help a person appreciate a balance. Because like there's like this
It doesn't work.
There's a man named Dr. Perry, and he created I think his last name is Perry. He created something called the 6 core strengths of personal development.
Yeah, he is named the Perry, Georgia, named after him.
So what?
Yeah, it's a fact.
No, Perry, Georgia.
Carry
You're
on.
not pulling my
Carry
leg.
on. I'm a factual man with a factual plan.
There's
and I know that Perry man.
What the first stage, I think it's called dependence, and that is that basically before you can even learn how to handle things yourself, you're always dependent on a caregiver. That taking care of yourself is based on how well you've observed people taking care of you. Basically, you cannot self-regulate until you've basically understood dependence, that you've and this comes from childhood through adolescence, or I'm not sure the range, but then you get to self-regulation, how you manage things on your own, how you deal with your stuff, and then comes affiliation, how you connect with people while you regulate with yourself. And that's where I think, and I feel like guilt tripping can be it can be an issue, because you want to affiliate with people, but you want to build connections, but it's not exactly wise to have someone connect with you out of guilt. You shouldn't make them feel bad, like, oh, I have to, or else
then it makes you want to rush through it anyway. Yeah,
I'm sure. It's like the concept, like if you love something, let it go, set it free. Yeah, not entirely up to that concept, but no one should feel pressured to establish a relation with family or what. I feel like I think that boundaries should be respected, and guilt tripping someone would actually create.
And we all do it in certain ways, and we always know we're wrong when we do.
Well, it can also be a hindrance, people who have issues saying no. People who don't want to displease others comes from that guilt tripping, and it's not fair for that person. It actually can be, like I said before, an hindrance to their development. I'm not a psychologist, but I'm just
psychologist Che.
No,
spitting factual information about Perry, Georgia.
You are wrong, my esteemed friend. I'm a Checologist.
Well done there about the Perry, Georgia factual information you were preaching about. When we were first starting, there was a subject that we started to get off on, and I'm like, man, T, you got the best memory in the world. Do you remember what it was? I don't.
Talking about tonight?
Yeah. Remember early? You remember? I remember. I thought we had something we were going to come back and talk about, but we'll save it. You remember it now, don't you?
On that.
You remember it now, don't you?
What is it? I'm curious.
Let's hit the rewind.
We have a lot.
No, it was the self-care and the thought and the.
Oh yeah, the food.
Yes, food.
Let's finish with that, and then we'll have a good episode in.
Okay,
and we'll get out of here.
We have another time to talk about Italy.
Get some sleep.
Spain was. I'll tell you this: in Spain, during my solo trips, twice I visited this buffet that I used to visit when I was younger with my uncles, but I'm an adult and I can do things by myself. And I got on the metro from my station in Badalona to another place in Barcelona called Urquinoa. That's the metro station. And there's this, I think it's a Japanese buffet or a Chinese buffet. And the food is all the food. You got different types of food on small plates, and you put them on a conveyor belt, and it just goes around and go. It just you just sit next to the conveyor belt. If you don't want to if you see something a plate coming up that you want, you just pick it up, put it on your.
Wow.
Snatch it. That's
Dude, could you imagine if the Asian food chain market in America set up like Chinese buffets where you can get all the different chickens and everything, and you just like sit in your chair, and there's like some little like plate drone or some kind of like a little belt driven system where it just comes slowly right by your thing and just grab what you want and eat.
I'm fine with conveyor belt.
Dude,
the gluttony factor.
I might double my weight. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, as soon as I saw it, I can hear that song "Pure Imagination" playing in my head.
Yep.
He spent a week and a half there. He didn't leave that seat for a week and a half.
Yummy.
Yeah, I spent 23 days.
I spent all the
Spain.
time by myself away from my uncles.
Where were
At
you?
this one place. They had a conveyor belt of food.
I have people call, but I don't answer while I'm eating. I'm enjoying something right now. You wait. Now there's this but what's cool about this buffet is you don't have plates of meals. You have just small plates with one or two things of the same food on it, like two pieces of the same sushi, or two egg rolls, or like a very small helping of General Tso's chicken or something, which is a smart idea because you get to try all the different varieties you expect to try at the buffet while not exactly building up.
Overdoing it and wasting food.
Exactly. You're just, getting little by little. Not like, oh, this is my fifth plate and I'm halfway done, but I'm stuffed. I should have,
It's the Italian way to do things and not become big like us
Too full.
over here in America. You know what I mean?
Sounds yummy.
I don't know.
No, it's when I was with my uncles, tasted a lot of great with my uncles. We just had traditional Spanish foods. Had paella, chorizo, boquerones fritos, which is basically our fried anchovies. We had one of my favorite things that we tried was actually an appetizer in some of the grills and bars. I think I got it right. Moro de cerdo, which is basically the meat on the face of the pig grilled. It's not really meat, but it's
Is
so
it like
good.
snout meat?
Yeah, like snout meat face, the basically the flesh on the face of the. I think that's what it is. Moro de cerdo. It's so good.
I've been called that name a few times in my youth. Cerdo.
They called you pig? No.
Somebody did. I was probably being a little pig.
So.
My favorite word's arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
I'm
Until we.
I'm going to use that word a lot. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Bye-bye.
That's cool.
Thanks for sharing, man. And we'll get deeper into it. And we have lots of future podcasts to do and discuss. That relationship with that some of us get with food, though, and especially when you're depressed and stuff, it's like something that you can just draw to.
Yeah,
it's a tough one, man. It's a tough battle to overcome.
It is. It's especially when you're stressed out, or the thing when you're once stressed out or anxious. It's mainly like you want to avoid the unhealthy foods to make health changes, but at the same time, you feel like those foods will make your day a little brighter.
It goes hand in hand in an interesting way, and I am by no means some person that can talk on this subject with expertise in any way, shape, or form. And the last, I'd say, couple months, there's been this mindset adjustment that I'm trying to master, right? And it's kind of everything that I'm either all of the self work that I'm it's leading me to this, important path of the food, your relationship with food, and part of it's, you want to be healthy as any person. You want to have, good sleep, you want to have, put good food in your body. But also a big part of it's going to bed, at a certain time, waking up early, starting your day the right way, not just going to bed eating, waking up eating, foods and keeping it tight in. And that's how you just build it up. And it's just so easy for you to have this breakfast, lunch, dinner. Oh, I got to have this. I got to eat. And it's like this, it's almost like you feel like you have to do it that way because that's the way that everybody does it, or that's the way it's marketed.
Yeah.
The food relationship. And it's when you start kind of just saying, I'm going to create this routine that's more positive, you instantly start cutting out or, adjusting the food. And that's the happiness part. Like you're saying, I got to do this so I can get to this to be happier. And for a big chunk of us, man, food, like some people, it's the gym. They go work out when I wish I was one of those.
And one doesn't really have to cut out the food that they like. Yeah, that's not speaking as an expert, but no one has to cut out food they love. It's all about moderation. It's just changing the lifestyle you have.
Yeah.
You don't have to give up any of those foods. I mean, some foods should be reduced greatly, but you don't have to stop cold turkey. You can have certain days or a day on the week where you can enjoy some of that food. And it's not to say that healthy foods are not great. I mean, there are plenty of healthy foods that you can enjoy and not suffer
food
side
in general,
effects.
everything we want to enjoy. It's like I said, it's the balance and having a good balance of it. And for sure, man.
But it's also when it comes to staying fit, also like I said before about the upsetting consequences of anxiety and feeling down and just worn out in general is that you also it just takes a toll on you and you feel tired, but doesn't necessarily mean you are tired. It can sometimes just be
it's a mental fog. That's the balance. It's
like you just don't want
everything you put in your body gives you that return and whatnot, and you got to have to keep your No, go. Were you about to say something?
No, just like say you wanted to, like you have a regimen and you're going to eat certain foods and you're only going to eat the foods you like on certain days, but at the same time, you want to have a physical activity day so that every day you do a certain amount, whether it's walking a certain amount or doing a certain amount of burpees or sit-ups or whatnot. And then at that point, the only time of the day where you can do it, you just feel like, oh, I'm not feeling it today. Or sometimes it's not really an authentic physical response. It's just all mental. It's all part of your mind telling you that I'm not feeling it today. But because it has happened several times, the moment you start getting into it, you feel the change, and sometimes you're actually enjoying it. And so it's in the end, it's a mental health. It narrows down to mental health. It's just how you can maintain a growth mindset during that day, which can be a trick when you're having a bad day, because a fixed mindset can be quite a quagmire.
That's a cool thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's call it a night.
Good stuff.
I'll see you maybe tomorrow night.
Indeed. Yeah.
So we got Colleen, and I think just Colleen coming over. I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see her. I'm sure we're going to get some really good information on what's that one show? It's what's her favorite? It's the restaurant one.
Twin Peaks.
No, we're in totally different realm there, Che. We're going reality TV. We're going bottom basement entertainment. It's not Big Brother, but there's one of these shows that she just loves. It's not Kardashians.
It was a reality TV show.
It's a one. God, I can't remember right now. It's right to my tongue. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow night.
Indeed.
Love you, Che, man. Good to see you.
Love you too,
Glad
Scott.
you're back.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for not being too mean to the underclassmen on the plane.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of of lungs, this all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more, saying you're gonna be alright. Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs, this all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more, saying you're gonna be alright.
Dude, that's just killer. Oh, dude, that was awesome.